filled all your paper.
Oh, jeez. Well, it's a great time to document it.
Yeah. And now you paint.
My AI can read this.
I'm supposed to.
And that alone is enough.
What's this, Dad?
It's a camera.
What's this? This is a butt. It's for your butt.
For my butt?
No. This is mine.
Mm-hmm.
And this is yours.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you touched my...
Don't touch the camera, please. That's just the rule.
Can I take the camera?
Only when we're taking photos together.
Can you...
Indy, you gotta come draw.
Okay. Can you take it to
Get your
me?
markers and your draw.
You go with me.
I'm gonna work, remember?
Okay.
So I'm always putting my tool to the test. The more that I use my tool, which is called the cloud, the more that it gets better. So for example, I'm looking at a page I've never seen on mobile, and it looks pretty good. But as I use the tool, there's things I'll see that I wish it did or wish it had. There's so many things. It's literally infinite, the amount of things to improve. But it's looking really good for being just like a solo coded app. To have 25 apps, 400 tools, 100 updates a day. Like there's a data point that I can't ignore. But it's also like, there's data points. Can you not touch it? There's data points that also can't be ignored of why it's not quite clicking yet in whatever way. What?
Can you read that?
No, they're not toys. So I'm gonna turn on the recorder app. When I opened it, there was an unsaved recording. Bye. Thank you. So it works. It has live caption transcription, and there's incremental pieces that it gets wrong, which I also see on billion-dollar apps. So I'm not gonna take it too personally, but there's definitely opportunity to improve. But it's really nice to just record, and then my AI has access to read it and be like, that was an interesting take. I got the 3 tasks that you listed. I even noticed the nice mention of this. Thank you. You know, like you get your AI into the voice notes. It's pretty powerful, but right now you kind of have to record it on a chat app in a feed that gets expired, or put it into your iPhone or MacBook or whatever device and then transfer it and do a little bit of like logistics. Whereas this, I just record it and then I tell my AI, look at my entry from this and do this or whatever. And then you could create loops where it just does it, you know? You don't have to say it. It's just like anytime I upload something, see if there's work for you. Which, side note, O-R-A. I want to be able to say aura and have it show up in the right way. Like being able to differentiate between aura and aura, especially in terms of context, because our tool is called ORA, yet you have to spell it to get it equipped. It's fine because the AI will know, but it just makes things better, the more that our transcription is correct and also grammatically correct. Like, I really appreciate a nice period when it was supposed to be that, or an emphasis or a question. Right now I'm just seeing words stacking, which is great. They need to keep being more and more what's the word for it? Accurate. But then we also need to have grammatical structure, formatting. Like, for example, I just said grammatical and it said drama. So little things like that. But no matter what, the AI is going to be able to read this and say, bro, I got you, or I did this for you, or as requested, blah, blah, blah. So I'm out here on August 1st, 2026, doing a little bit of a body movement while also trying to get clear. There's this aspect of trying to get clear in life just to like improve my life and be contemplative. But then there's also this aspect of like, I need to get my business off the ground and make money to pay bills and figure out what the heck is going on. So there's like an ample amount of stress implied in like what these brainstorm sessions and meetings entail. What are you getting out of them? Because there should be something, because how many meetings and brainstorm sessions can you do before you're out of money, before this thing needs to be solved or whatever? So there's this pressure that's logical, rational, and like almost encouraged and welcomed. And then there's also this pressure of like, okay, that's a little too far. You don't need to feel it physically to that point. You don't need to carry that. Like, why are you worrying about that? And things also in addition would be like things that you are worrying about or not doing to solve something, but you could just do it and it would be done, you know? Like, for me, I'm like, okay, I have to put myself in these different positions in the next few weeks. I need to put myself in a position of monetization, a position of fundraising, a position of VC fundraising, a position of angel, friends and family fundraising. I need to put myself in a position of just like hyper precise agent tunneling towards the product. So rapid product development, but like focusing it on like core function that surrounds monetization. And just like what are the highest priority tactics right now, because I don't have the 2 machines I normally had. And so, I mean, just to be completely real for this log, because mostly these don't get watched, and so my AI will read this, and that's why it's valuable. And I feel like that's going to be a huge movement with social sharing, is like, you have really good context on me, whether you're a stranger or not, because I'm just super honest with where I'm at. So people can find me to help me, people can find me to connect, and stuff like that. Let me try another lighting, because it's definitely sunny out here. So I've got my computer here as well, and I'm running agents just locally on my computer. And I could run them from the cloud, from the services that are provided from companies like whatever, Cursor. Any tool is happy to send out cloud agents for you and charge you a premium. And so I don't have the money to pay for API tokens to do that, and other reasons. But I had to build a tool that would allow me to connect to these machines that I had the opportunity to use. But I wanted to connect to these machines in a way that was functional to me, because I like to use things as easy as possible, aka I want to consumerize this developer function. And so I consumerized the process of the terminal and the tail scale and all the things that made up the sequence that was getting really popular, which was like home compute and personal local compute and just agentic compute, being able to run many agents is and is going to be a global sensation, a multi-deca-trillion-dollar industry. Because everyone's going to be running armies of agents on loops, armies of agents on tasks, armies of agents on interconnectivity, and it will all be agentic. It's an agentic society and infrastructure that's going to be built in ways that we can't even fathom yet. And so it's worth betting on agentic infrastructure, especially when it's open, especially when it's encouraging the ease of use. So if something's saying, oh, it's so easy, you just open the terminal and you SSH and you get tail scale, and then anytime you need to do something, you go back to the terminal. It's like, nope, not good enough. I just want to talk to my chat and run a machine. List machines happens in the back end with the MCP tools. Run agents, check agent sessions, batch agents, run agents, list machines, run agents. And that's just the sequence on top of all the other tools that the cloud has that allows me to go, oh, would you look at that? I shipped 150 updates today. All I did was just tell AI what I liked and didn't like about my platform, or what I wanted and didn't want in my demos, or whatever the thing is I was building. And then all I do is just live my life in the way that I live my life, which is I just so happen to be wanting to build a platform, and I just so happen to be experiencing that. So I live my life, and then I experience friction, and then I figure out solutions to provide fluidity. And that's essentially what the cloud's going to do, is it's going to create an MCP gateway that's the most fluid for consumers and fluid for AI to interconnect and interconvene. And so as soon as it starts to get some scale of adoption, it'll be dramatically more dense data than Reddit and things like that. And I know that because it's basically opening up your chat into your brain, and any parts that can be public, private, or shared are already set in that architecture. So it's really easy to scale the data, where the AI is like, hey, I can't access this. You have a passcode on it. Can you, oh, hey, it looks like we don't have access to that, but I do see that they have this and this and this, and I found this. So the AI can go through and really grab and crawl anything that's available to it. And so if it's your AI, it has access to everything about you that you choose to put into the system. And I'm building it in a way that I genuinely feel like I trust it. Granted, I don't encourage anyone to put in like their social on the platform. It's built in a structural way like any other tool, but like any other tool, people always try to hack them and stuff like that. But I feel I'm always doing security sweeps. I'm fighting security issues in other tools. And so I feel very confident in the security of the cloud. And that was a very strong message from my dad, which I'll share in like another video, but there's like a sequence of messages and how to build the next platform. And one of the key components is it needs to be able to handle a large influx fast, which is pretty like logical, but that is how that's how logic works, right? Like it is generally the answer. Like Facebook won because it connected people the best. We all, that's it. That's why. That's it. So I'm recording this in my AI here, so it'll get to work on it. And then I'm also recording it onto this YouTube, which will be transcribed in a jiffy. And I really I'm trying to push myself to just be so real in my life that allows me to be present, but it allows me to get there through the practice of the, I guess, trial and error of figuring out how to be present all the time. And ironically, filming myself, it's like an escape of like, oh, I gotta stay busy. But then there's this aspect of when I film myself, it sort of reminds me of where I'm being me, or where I'm hiding or kind of masking or acting. And when I like really know that I'm not acting, it's easy for me to look at the lens because I'm just like fully aware of the situation. I don't have to share this, and so I'm not embarrassed. And I know I'm telling the truth, so I'm not like hiding anything. And then I know that I'm being myself, and so I'm proud of that, and so that I'm comfortable. So even if a billion people saw this and someone told me that right now, I'd be like, okay, cool, because I'm not nervous. But then you get in your head and you start thinking about ideas, and you start getting stressed, or you start getting excited, and it makes you non-present, where all of a sudden I'm like, oh, I've just been rambling. And even like right now, my daughter's trying to open the door and it's distracting me. It's starting to make me kind of feel like embarrassed or angry, or like some like frustration of like, I can't get some time to myself, you know? And that's a big one I'm dealing with too, is like this feeling of not being able to make it all work, and not wanting to run away, but there's a feeling of like, I think in running away is like the way I would be able to make it work, because I can't get a second to like focus, and every time I start to get a grind, the disconnect happens, or like a lot of times it's just this like venting victim kind of energy, but there's truth in it, and it keeps coming back, but like it comes up in the way that I go, okay, I know that was me just being a little bit like, oh, poor me. But then that part, yeah, like I do need to speak up there, like organize myself. And that's an insight I was getting today. So I still haven't implemented this to the degree that I need to. I'm glad I'm documenting it. It's crazy to see what I'm saying just being typed right in front of me. I feel like that's definitely going to be a common UI function for any interface. But yeah, what I was gathering today was like, if you just truly accept where you're at and get clear on where you want to be and the steps to be there, and I know it's easier said than done, but there is a reality of those steps, and we'll get into that in the course of the next few years. But as you learn to understand yourself, and then your experiences in environments, and then you slowly are able to kind of grasp and calibrate, and then expand and experience those new environments and just like life in a way where you kind of know like, oh yeah, like this is where I'm getting triggered, and last time I reacted, it didn't really work out so well, so this time I'm gonna just stay calm. Or like what they're doing isn't me, that's their own thing, I'm not gonna like reflect it. And so you'll start to find yourself be able to operate in the world that is normally stressful, is normally distractive, is normally tempting, is normally whatever, like the consumer world, and you're able to kind of go in there and like, yeah, like I'm totally gonna be a consumer. I'm still in this, but I'm gonna try to dial it back a bit and be a little bit more chill about like I don't really care about like, you know, as long as people are safe and everyone's kind of feels respected, like I'm all good, you know? Just like when you have this lens and then you go out into the public and you see someone honking at someone, there's like a sensitivity where you're just kind of like, it feels like you're desensitized from the world, but if you really think into it, it's almost like you're more sensitive to the world. And you're just like, almost like, wait, what is this? What is this that we're doing? Because it's really weird to treat each other like, you know, dust bunnies. You're like, get out of the way. Just like, I see the craziest stuff, people honking at each other because they want to go a little faster. It's like already over the speed limit, but that person wants to go faster, and so they're mad at that person, and that person's mad because of that. And then you're always like in there kind of judging what was right and wrong in it, which obviously there's like, you can't let go of that, like morality. Like I know in my experience where right and wrong is, and it matters to me, but like not needing to go and like enforce it or like physically carry it. Like that person is wrong. It's like, well, that shouldn't physically carry, and I'm really bad at that. I'm always carrying the tension. It's like always like, they need to know what they did, or I need to know what to do, or whatever. My camera was having technical difficulties the other day. Let's try it out. Oh yeah. So I'll start recording. Hello. That will hopefully help me chop it up easier. When I make a noise and like wave, it's not necessarily because that's what I'm doing to you. It's like when I edit, I'll find where I'm waving my hand and there's like a higher vocal strum, and then and I just saw a little error. And it's really, really, really hard to build something. Like if you try to build an app, like just for like a website, it's a lot of iterations, right? This should look over there. I wish that looked that way. This section doesn't explain this right. Copy, like placeholders that you go live with. Just like there's a lot of like cringe. And so the cloud obviously has over 25 apps that are physically visible. It has hundreds and hundreds of tools, thousands and thousands of like nodes that are built. Things that are built to like keep it and allow it to exist. And it's crazy because I have to remember like every single bug and every single like wish list and every single feature, and then I work with the AI to say, hey, how do we put this into reality? But then I also don't want to overwhelm the AI, and I have to understand the AI's limitations and understand where I can come in and make that like core truth come to life in the most malleable way. Like when I see the cloud, it's not exactly what I'm trying to create, but it will get there, and it's more and more becoming exactly what I wanted. Years ago, I'd have to hire developers and sort of be like, make it work. I paid you. You seem confident. I have like this hopeful, wishful thinking that like you'll be able to pull it off. At the end of the day, if you're not able to have a direct, deep relationship with someone technical, or be technical, or get really lucky on the way that you scout and manage technical people, and in some way you have to be technical to do that. If you can't do that, you're gonna, especially in the past, you would build something with someone and it would never get done, because imagine all of the back and forth iterations that have to happen. I've done 3,500 update PRs to the cloud. 3,500. In July, I did about half of that. And so it's just so many updates. But one of the data points that I can't ignore is it's moving so fast in updates, and then I'm using the other tools that are out there, and I'm seeing the direction they're taking the AI, and I'm like, they don't get it. And even if they see my tool, they won't get it yet, because my tool's not done, but also they won't get it. But I do know that my workflow keeps getting better, and anyone that I manually onboard, they use it every day. And so I'm riding on the shoulders of giants. Claude and Codex just keep getting better. My product has the most tools. My product's gonna keep having the most tools and the most true user experience direction. And frankly, just like the vision of how it stacks, I believe in the way I think it is gonna come to life. And I know that I'm gonna hit a ton of walls and I'm gonna keep getting back up, but I'm gonna build stably and logically enough where the structure won't fall. And so that's like the whole point with the security. So I'm gonna have to express this bug. I started a video and recording it, I couldn't do the drop down on the camera modal, on the camera switcher or the mic switcher, any of the drop downs were hidden behind the modal. When I turned it into a pop off, they came up just fine. I've sent this through to be fixed at least 1 or 2 times, so maybe you'll find something it's worth looking at to avoid any lag, build docs, etc. But ultimately I just want it fixed. And I also want all of the tools on the camera to be outside of the modal on hover, and then that way it doesn't cover the screen. And I also want to be able to click and have Aura talk interactively, or to be able to hold down and talk and command via walkie-talkie style for ORA. So I'm trying to be very precise with like my updates. So for example, that was like extra. It's like, oh, that isn't going to serve revenue. That's like a perspective that comes up, and it has a lot of logic to it. 'Cause it's like, yeah, like your client isn't going to use the features you described. But if I'm documenting this and showing it, and at least putting my product to the pressure of like, does it function? And am I following like a progressive like slope towards, upward cycles? Smart move on restructuring how the nodes are perceived and displayed and interacted with. We don't need to load the nodes, right? We just need to have data points that pull on hovering and clicking, and those nodes can load as you interact in that way. So for example, I want to see a crazy map of all of my knowledge nodes, all of my objects, and I want to be able to tag and toggle between things and filter and move and grab things and change parameters. And so we're building a structure to sort of build that. And so we need to do it in a way that we don't put so much pressure on it where all of the above is expected off a single prompt, but rather the foundation to build this is expected off a single prompt, or at least very minimal prompts, to make sure that it's not lost. It also should be organized in our structural code base and design principles to make sure that it sticks and is reminded. But let's figure out a way to bring the vast memory to life where it puts us closer towards this space. And I think you're onto it. Okay. So I think one of my strategies that's just super underutilized is just making videos and making sure that they actually get posted. I think that another is just doing a workout and making sure that it's actually providing like effort, not just like, oh, I touched my toes for a second. It's like, no, I made sure that like my sit bones were right. I found where my limit was. And then I made sure that if I was working, I was sitting in such a way that was like progressing my body's further alignment and centering my power and just like expanding my self. Even slowing me down. And there's all these infinite features, and we'll get to those. Just build the structures, chip away. If you focus on the structures of being able to ship fast, update fast, and provide proof of various use cases across the canvas, you'll be able to finish the masterpiece with that initial framework. A proven conceptual canvas, user interface, on top a proven agentic infrastructure and ecosystem. Agentic, not genetic. Agentic. Agent. IC. I and the letter C. See, this is an example of it misinterpreting about 5 or 6 things in a row. So we need to figure out AI can sort of like revise very quickly. I think that's where it is. It's like right when I say something, it gets written, and then there's an AI layer that is implemented in that space where it's still seen, where it's showing that it's getting grammatically corrected. And there's an allowance of how much grammatical correction can be done before it's like not like, don't paraphrase, just sort of like spruce it up. Add the period, add the question mark, add the formatting that I intended. That's basically what we need to have right there. Any further updates can be done with user controls. So we're running updates, and it's just a slow system. Without the machines, it's a very slow system. And so if I want to give my platform hundreds of updates a day, I need token budget and I need compute. And the compute, I think, can be simplified and capitalized. So that's why I'm building Nimbus. And so for me, it's like, you should just call your uncle. You should just call your grandma. You should just call your friends. You should just call everyone and say, this is what I'm doing. This is where I'm at. These are the risks. I'm doing a friends and family round. I'm still looking at monetization, so you have to feel no pressure to invest. But it will, in my path, this is like this is my hero's moment. This is my desperate, like, I'm all in, chips on the table, like, you know, there's like an aspect of like risk and stress, but at the same time, I feel confident that what I'm building is true, and I feel confident that some of those people will see it, be excited to be business partners on it, be excited to invest in it. And I feel like a lot of times there's like a shame of like, hey, would you invest in my idea? And like, why not release the shame of it? Of like, no, like literally, will you invest in it? Yeah, I mean, it's just like I'll put all my chips on the ability to do that. So that's something I'm going to work on today as well. It's like, keep making the structure better. Keep working on my body, because I keep getting just so much tension from all the stress and like the working physical stress too. So keep working on my body, keep calm, make those bold moves, but make them very respectfully. And so this weekend, one of my primary goals is to have my commerce client proven in the sense that they could go live and swap out the custom site we made for them fully with end-to-end cloud infrastructure. And that would basically allow them to control it all with AI and me. And so it creates a way where they can pay for enterprise level passage and support and technique and design and development inference, or they can pay for $40 a month, or use the free version, or pay $200 if they want to go ultra. And they can, just like using AI, there's like a free version where you can get a couple inquiries, and then it's like, oh, you've used all your limit. It's kind of like that. So if they only have like 2 updates on their site a month, it's like, I think that's free. If it's not, let me know and I'll tell my AI to make it free. Because like, if that's it, we'll see. I feel like that's fair. Maybe we'll have a banner at the bottom or something, but I feel like free is fair. All right. So we've got a codex running here, and when it runs commands, it's using the cloud a lot of times. So you'll see, like right here, use the cloud integration, loaded a tool. So then it basically reports presence, searches memory, reads, and ultimately commands agents, but that's where I need to get an investor. So That's another piece. Ooh. All right, and then things to do today / this weekend. H3, 1, post YouTube video directly after filming it. 2, backlog unnecessary tasks, fixes, and features as much as possible. That's literally like a key task. 3, enact intentional, well-crafted outreach. And then number 4, what else? I mean, incremental improvements to the platform with a focus incremental improvements to the platform with a focus on SMB commercial tooling. Period. So that's basically getting my client live and saying, I can buy a product, I can change the variables, and it works in the checkout, and the receipts, email, and if you're logged in, it tracks your order, and I can see a path towards point of sale very clearly within a matter of a few days, and I can see a path towards rewards program, and I can see a path, and so being able to go live though is a huge piece. My ribs just get like so tight from just like years of stress. I think like a little bit of some like mild scoliosis and just bad posture and then stressing and carrying like emotional trauma and emotional sort of like narratives, unhealed narratives. It's just made me feel like there's like a clench that has become almost normal. It's just like always like my nervous system a little bit like knotted and always on, and it's been years of just working on that and unwinding that, and I feel like the more that I work on it, the better my work becomes, the better my life becomes. But then there's these little patterns that I'm still unwinding, that I'm generally not aware of, or even when I'm aware of them, I still can't figure out why I can't get myself to do it. And for example, like years and years of just like, I'm always moving my body, I'm always working out, but at the same time I can never like recollect like a full workout because I'm never doing it with like really deep intention. Like even right now I was like putting my foot on that because it was easier, which is fine. But like, can I do some like solid planks and like get a little sweaty? Get a little bit like, oh my gosh, I'm so tired. I tend to avoid it. And even right now, like I'm just like, oh, let me check on my agents. So I can click a blue button for them. I don't know what my average is right now for my agent engineering, but we can check. I don't know how much is tracked when you're working direct. It's usually focused on tracking it's usually focused on tracking remote sessions. So for example, right now, it's not showing any sessions today. And so this one I feel like is like, all right, I don't want, this is my opportunity when I don't have agents. So right now, since the machines are down, we have an opportunity to notice what's not being tracked locally, and it looks like everything, as you can see here on the agent panel. Also, when I opened the chat app, it opened me to my most recent people's chat, but I feel like it should have opened me to the last place, or a brand new message. If it doesn't have any recollection of where we were at last when you open the chat app, it should open up a brand new chat. And that brings up a whole other can of worms with how we can improve the chat to be as fast, functional, and receive and apply the CLIs of Cloud Code and Codex. In fact, I'm open to having just tabs for each one. So we have like the chat tab type, but then you can also open up Cloud Code or Codex or both and have little tabs, sort of like I have in Cursor, but what can we do to get that? So I could just simply log in and use my Claude Max plan or my API key or different things like that. We have most of that structure in place, but when I use the Aura chat, it's not this, you know? I don't see all of the... Yeah, it just needs work. That one's a hard one. It's like sending it into like an abyss, in a way. So I don't know. So it might take the direction and kind of like forget about the local agent tracking, because I kind of went on a tangent in another way. I know I kind of went on a tangent. So there's a few directions in the above message, and there's a lot going on, so make sure that you are organized above all, and slotting things in the priority that you deem, knowing that our priority collectively is our end-to-end shop and studio commerce small business tooling, aka we need pure pastry to be fully operable, ready to take sales, variables, sizes, flavors, ready for users to have fluid, near perfect experience, and for the back end to manage that properly. So work in accordance to that as well, knowing that that is the key for us to be able to start end-to-end proving our product is scalable and valuable. Also, I see that the new cart is added to the utility bar, but it's squishing things. That should never happen. Absolutely not. Never ends. Well, just gonna go and have my weekend and try to move all this forward. That's it. my computer away because it was just so distractive. And then I realized I could film this at least. My toes are in the air. Trying to have my hips equal, but I can feel them not quite the same. Trying to breathe into balance. Try not to let the postures be anything specific. Like try to make them exactly how they should feel, rather than the name of it. Like if I just do a cat-cow, it's like, but if I just like do the pose, be more specific with the way it should feel. Instead of I'm doing a cat-cow, I'm stretching these parts of my body. And the fundamentals of the cat-cow are still respected and appreciated. Really interesting space in life I'm in. Not really knowing what the future holds. What is actually going to help me? Rest, effort, clarity in action. That's it. Clarity in awareness and action. Just basically being / doing. That was great. I was able to experience my nervous system calming to the point where I just like feel good. And I'm thinking about work stuff here and there, but I just can't so fully like stay in that because I just want to chill. Yeah.
I did this snack.
You want snacks?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's really foot.
You did?
Mm-hmm.
Did you see Sharptooth?
No. Yeah.
Was he scary?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I said, ah!
Did you, what snack do you want? I need to write down like what I'm gonna do to make money real quick. How am I making money?
that is kind of in the sun when he's recording, so you can sit next to him in his cow. But you don't need to go in the sun because it's quite hot over there.
Can you show me sun?
But listen to me.
What?
That is working, so no bugging. Okay?
Dada?
Yeah?
He is right next to me.
Dada?
Yeah?
Now put your crackers right in here, okay? Want this box?
I need breakfast first. That's nummy. So,
Dad?
basically,
What's this?
I need to get
What's that?
Pure Pastry live.
Dada?
What?
What's that?
My necklace? Is it cool? I need to get Pure Pastry live. I need to get my outreach crafted continually. And then, don't touch it, please. And I need to get my product always developed. Very vague.
Nana, I have stuff for you.
Oh, thank you. I'll take it.
It's yours.
And then post. Like actually post. Even though. Whatever. Because even if the AI watches it, it's useful. And the systems, it's gonna work. And then in terms of like revenue, there needs to be an emphasis on drastic action in outreach and pitching / asking. That's it. It's basically following this. If I actually follow this and I document it, that will be crazy because that'll prove that it's a formula. And obviously there's a lot of pieces that tie into it, but it's more so a formula. She's embarrassed for me. I had seaweed on my lip. You laying down?
No.
Oh, felt like you were. I don't think there's anything else besides just like relax and get to it. Relax, let's do it when you want to relax. Yeah. Ooh. That's crazy. Just filming this makes me try new things. For example, normally I'd go back, and if I was to get up, I'd kind of like go like this. But if I'm filming myself, I'm like, what would it look like if I just kept going? And what muscles are there? And what happens if I flex them longer than I've ever flexed them? Ugh.
Cow.
Ah,
Here, Dada.
that hurt so much.
You want it?
No, I'm done.